they are trying to attract them through various ways, through cryptocurrency, through the Middle East initiative, and now the latest being the Pasni seaport. Here it's basically a sweetener to get the Trump administration deeply involved in what is happening in Pakistan. In 2023, May 9, there was a huge agitation against the Pakistan army. The house of the Pakistan Lahore Corps commander was attacked. Today, Field Marshal Asim Munir is the man who you talk if you want anything to be done with Pakistan, not Shehbaz Sharif. China will not allow that one day its iron brother has suddenly gone away and is sitting in the lap of Washington. China definitely cannot take this thing lying down because China has virtually invested a lot into Pakistan.
How exactly does India view the Pakistani moves that are being made in the US and the Middle East? Hello and a very warm welcome. You're watching Hindustan Times and my name is Aisha Varma. On the latest segment of Point Blank, Pakistan's latest overture to Washington, a proposed Arabian seaport, has stirred up a geopolitical storm from Gwadar to Washington, with China's massive belt and road footprint and India's strategic watchfulness. The move could reshape power equations in South Asia and beyond. We have the executive editor of Hindustan Times, Mr. Shishir Gupta, joining us for more. Sir, namaskar. So what do you think about the media report, which has put a lens on Pakistan's reported pitch to the United States for an Arabian seaport?
See, the media report talks about Pakistan offering the Pasni deep seaport, which is nearly 70 miles south of Gwadar and on the Makran coast and ahead of Karachi. Now, I have checked out the report is essentially part of a Pakistani overreach to the Americans.
Okay.
And they are trying to attract them through various ways, through cryptocurrency, through the Middle East initiative, and now the latest being the Pasni seaport. Now, I'm told is that there is a Pakistani military organization called Frontier Works Organization. Now, this is like the Indian Border Roads Organization. It does infrastructure work for the Pakistan Army. It is also the organization that built the Karakoram Highway with support of the Chinese. Now, I am told is that this organization will be used to give significant multi-million dollar contracts to US companies to get the Pakistan Army and the US establishment close to each other. Right? So this is what is happening. So what possibly could be the thing was that they would develop the Pasni seaport to extract critical minerals from Balochistan using the Frontier Works Organization. So it's a military thing. Okay. Where, being Pakistan military, so it is not under any audit, it is not under anything. So here it's basically a sweetener to get the Trump administration deeply involved in what is happening in Pakistan. So it is part of that narrative.
Sir, so what exactly is Asim Munir's game plan?
See, before I talk about the Asim Munir game plan, let me take you way back. When we talk about, the Pakistanis offering or reported offer of this Pasni seaport, way back in 2015, the Indian National Security Advisor, Ajit Doval, had met then Pakistani National Security Advisor, who was General Nasir Janjua. Now, this meeting took place on possibly December 7, 2015 in Novotel Hotel in Bangkok. Now, in that meeting, what is interesting is that Janjua apparently told Ajit Doval, that, we were pushed to the Afghan war, the Mujahideen war, because the Americans said that the Soviets wanted to have a warm seaport in Karachi. So he says, we were told and we fought for saving our seaport. Now, it is quite ironical that the same country is now offering a port to the Americans. So it's, typically Pakistani. I mean, whatever works, I will play whichever game I want to play, as long as it is the Pakistan military's interest which is protected. Now, coming to this question about Asim Munir's game plan. Now, you look at what is happening. In 2022, the Pakistan army had hit the rock bottom, in the sense that in 2023, May 9, there was a huge agitation against the Pakistan army. The house of the Pakistan Lahore Corps commander was attacked. They actually virtually sort of ransacked the entire place. They attacked the general headquarters in Rawalpindi. This was the day when Imran Khan was arrested. And the Pakistan army was seen as the enemy of the state, or the enemy of a democratic state. Now, from that position, what Asim Munir has done is that Asim Munir has tied up with China, he's tied up with US, he's tied up with Saudi Arabia, he's tied up with UAE. Suddenly, you see, again, he's brought the Pakistan army into focus. And he has again, for his personal as well as for his organizational benefit, tried to restore the credibility of the Pakistan army. Today, Field Marshal Asim Munir is the man who you talk if you want anything to be done with Pakistan, not Shehbaz Sharif. And that is what his game plan was. So he has basically ensured that he's brought the centrality of the Pakistan army into the Pakistan establishment. He has restored the credibility using whatever means, scrupulous, unscrupulous, whatever means, but that is what he has done. So he has made his survival being extended for a long time. He's now become a field marshal. He's a field marshal for life. This is what is going to happen. And he has somehow brought back the credibility domestically for the Pakistan army by reaching out to US, by reaching out to Saudi Arabia, and continuing to have relationships with China, Turkey, and all the other players.
So now, speaking of China, considering it's investing billions in Pakistan, will Beijing allow the United States to have a port just about 112 kilometers away from Gwadar?
I'm told that China has stopped investing into Pakistan.
Okay.
The report suggests that China is facing huge security threats. Its own personnel are facing huge security threat, operating in Gwadar, operating in Balochistan, operating in Karachi, operating in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa region, and in areas around Karakoram. So they want a guarantee for the security of their personnel. Until such time, they're not investing into Pakistan. Pakistan already owes nearly about $27 billion to China.
Okay.
So China definitely will not allow Pakistan to give the Pasni port to the Americans, because that will unravel its entire CPEC plan. So you will have the world's biggest power, that is US operating, and the aspiring power, China, operating in the same area for same critical minerals, for same Arabian Sea. So this is going to be one hell of a chaos. So I don't think so China in any way will allow that. But then, with Pakistan always plays these games. It'll play one up against the other. First it'll go to China, then it'll go, as long as the enemy remains India.
So beyond this, strategically, economically, on the global stage as well, when we talk about designating Pakistani entities as global terrorists, China has continued to bat for Pakistan for over 20 years. How do you think Beijing will be feeling at this point?
To my mind, Beijing would be extremely unhappy with Pakistan right now, because if anybody has batted for Pakistan in the past, not 2 decades, in the past maybe 4 decades, it was actually Beijing which gave Pakistan the capability to acquire nuclear weapons by testing the nuclear triggers way back. And they were the people who equipped Pakistan with M11 missiles. They were the ones who helped Pakistan build intermediate range ballistic missiles. So Beijing has been the force behind Pakistan that allows Pakistan to box way beyond its weight category, so to speak. And now this overtures what Munir is doing and going back to US again. This definitely does not work for China, because China even now is going to supply some 8 Yuan class submarines to Pakistan. It is even allowing Pakistan to acquire the 5th generation J-20 fighters. So China has been using Pakistan to ensure that India remains locked on the western side of the border, while it takes care of the northern side. Now, suddenly a new big player comes into the game, and that is US. Now, that is going to make not only complicated for China, it is going to make things very complicated for India also. But China definitely cannot take this thing lying down, because China has virtually invested a lot into Pakistan. And if Pakistan were again to go back to US, right, then China would be unhappy. The Pakistan line would be, actually, I am the bridge between China and US. It doesn't work that way. Now, as far as India is concerned, India has to watch the Makran coast very carefully, because if you have a string of players coming into it, you have the Karachi seaport, you have Pasni, which they're planning to offer to operators in US, and you have the Gwadar, which is a big seaport terminal, which is basically in a very restive region of Balochistan. So there are very serious security issues over there. There's a full-fledged insurgency going over there. And then you have all sorts of players coming into it. So that is going to be a complication for India. And that is why India needs to monitor this area very carefully.
Okay.
And let me take you back to something else. During Operation Sindoor, Pakistan Navy, on a very different note, did not even come out of its port. Okay. So at that particular point of time, that is maybe May 9th, May 10th, the Indian Navy had gone into positions which were nearly about 200 nautical miles next to the Makran coast, and they were all within weapon launching range, with the submarines way back inside. So Pakistan, this could also be a Pakistani effort to develop its navy for a long run. But again, the focus is India only.
How exactly does India view the Pakistani moves that are being made in the US and the Middle East?
See, there are a couple of points in this. I'll again take you way back to 2015, when Prime Minister Modi had met then Pakistan Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif. This was in Ufa. If you look at that joint statement that was released, the joint statement does not mention the word Kashmir. Believe you me, that is one reason why Nawaz Sharif was thrown out of Pakistan. So for Pakistan, as long as you make India the enemy, everything works for you. And what is happening in this is that Asim Munir has done, he made the statement in before Pahalgam massacre, where he sort of went again the same thing. He went for Kashmir. He went for Hindutva. He went for Hindus. It was actually a hate speech against India. He repeated the same thing when he went to Florida for the CENTCOM commanders farewell, right? So he has stuck to the domestic audience by doing that and making India the prime enemy. That's what he has done. So part one, that is what he has done. And for that, so that has helped him bolster the credibility of the Pakistan army and for himself within Pakistan. So that is what has happened. Second thing, when you have Shahbaz Sharif talk about, Hindutva as if it is, you're talking about some terrorist group, which he did in the UNGA. When you have Asim Munir talking about all that, you are creating a narrative saying that India actually is anti-Muslim, despite being a country which has the second largest Muslim population in the world. So you have actually you have pushed India out of the Muslim world. So by doing that, you don't find India when there are talks with Taliban in Qatar. You don't find India when there are talks in Gaza. You don't find India when there is the stabilization of army talk is talked about in Gaza. So basically, you put India out of OIC, and here is this country where where there is hardly any sectarian violence going on or hardly anything going on. But you have created a narrative which has ensured that India is out of Middle East process. So looking from a Pakistani perspective, I think it's a win-win game. He restored the credibility of the Pakistan army for whatever means as he has used. And he has also kept India out of it. Now, it is for India to reach out to its friends in UAE, in Saudi Arabia, in Jordan, and try and tell them as to what is the entire game plan. It is for them also to understand and see through what Pakistan is doing. So one day Pakistan is close to Turkey. The other day Pakistan is close to Qatar. The other day Pakistan is close to China. The other day Pakistan is close to US. The next day he's close to Saudi Arabia. So he is playing around. It is for you to understand the game. And being the Pakistan army, which essentially talks as if it is the custodian of the Islamic State. I mean, Munir has achieved a certain objective. Not only Munir, the other Pakistani dictators who came before Munir, they've all taken the similar line. Hit at India, keep India out of Middle East, and ensure that India does not get close to US. This is what the whole game plan is. It's a nasty game. It's a game which requires constant monitoring. It's a game which may even have ramifications within India. And definitely, the whole idea is to keep India and US away. The whole idea is to ensure that, I give you sweeteners, I give you crypto deals, I give you Pasni port, I give you, critical minerals. I sort of, bring you into my domain and keep India out of it. So this is the bigger game plan what Pakistan is playing. Now, typically, as in Pakistan tactically is very good, but strategically has always been very poor.
Okay.
So, does it work out in the long run? I don't think so, because China will not allow that one day its iron brother has suddenly gone away and is sitting in the lap of Washington. So there is going to be some change in that. But Pakistan will keep on doing things as long as it hurts India, as long as the Indian image is sullied. That's what their answer is to what India has been saying, that Pakistan is a terrorist state. This is where the entire thing lies.
All right. Sir, thank you so much for joining us and providing us with a more in-depth understanding of all of these developments. We'll continue to track the developments here, and do stay tuned for more on Hindustan Times.